You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Just sitting there on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Wayfinder. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Arkin and I arrive at my apartment building safely after a brief walk. I scan my keycard and Arkin follows behind me. As we ascend the stairs to my apartment, I'm reflecting on all the events of the day and smiling. Sure, it ended pretty abruptly. Sure, it wasn't all that long either, but it has definitely been one of the most fun days I've had in a long time. Reaching my door, Arkin looks at my nameplate and smirks. Your last name is Daring? I nod. That's me, Fynn Daring. I like it. I don't have a last name, but I suppose it would be just whatever Skull's family name is. I nod and think about it. Maybe you can come up with one of your own. Arkin opens his mouth to speak, but then stops. He locks eyes with me and nods, smiling. You're right. I don't see why I shouldn't. Arkin's face takes on a thoughtful expression. He seems to be considering names. Well, whatever you end up choosing, I'm sure it'll suit you. I look up to my woven friend's eyes, and they meet my gaze. I turn the key into the lock and swing my door open. Well, Arkin, coming in? Arkin shakes his stupor off and nods, and I hold the door open for him to move past me into my apartment. Linus meows and runs up to the two of us immediately. Arkin looks to Linus and back to me, smiling. He greets you at the door? I smile and bend down to pet my little liney-whiny. He's such a sweet little kitty, aren't you, Line? Linus meows, definitely understanding me. Could I, give him pets too? I wave a hand, beckoning for Arkin to go for it. He likes having his ear scratched. Arkin reaches down, gently, focusing on the cute cat. The sight of Arkin, who is 6.5 feet tall, leaning down to pet Linus, who is just a little under a foot, is enough to make me chuckle audibly. I can only imagine this sight from Linus's perspective. My sweet little kitty still lets Arkin pet him in spite of that. Arkin scratches behind Linus's ears gently, and after a few seconds the kitty is giving my woven friend head bops, and Arkin is returning the favor with nose boops. I walk past the pair of newly minted best friends and into the kitchen. So you thirsty? I have cold water, fruit juice, tea, some soda, beef gravy, coffee, etc. I open the fridge, looking inside. What was that? Coffee. No, before that. I pretend to reflect on it. Oh, soda. I have cream soda, root beer, pickle juice, orange soda, the works. I turn to Arkin, smiling. What juice was that again? Fruit juice. No, not the fruit juice, the last thing you said. Orange soda. Oh. He looks confused, and I chuckle. I'm messing with you, goofball. Most people don't drink those things recreationally. Most? I laugh hard. Arkin laughs too. I'll just have some water, I think. I nod and take the pitcher out of the fridge. Opening the nearby cupboard, I take 2 glasses out. Arkin watches as I fill our glasses. I hand Arkin his glass and point at Arkin's bag. Here, I'll keep that in the fridge. Arkin hands me his takeout to put in the fridge, and I do so. I lean back against the counter and take my own glass in hand. Arkin and I sip our water in silence for a moment, and I clear my throat. So, welcome to my apartment. Or I suppose the part outside my bedroom. Thanks. Thanks for inviting me in, and the water. I smile. Thanks for walking me home. My mom is pretty paranoid about that killer or whatever. I'm sure she'd be grateful for you, too. Second, Neil. Water time. Arkin looks to me with a worried glare. Aren't you scared at all, Fynn? You were almost attacked the other night. I guess I should be, but since the 3 of them have been around, I felt a sense of safety the likes of which I've never felt before. I trust you 3 to be around if things get hairy. Besides, if I have to, I reach over toward the stovetop and take a cast iron pan off of it, spinning it in my hand like a tennis racket. I can handle myself. Arkin chuckles and raises his hands, pretending to back off. Whoa there, sport. Let's not let it come to that. Would you like me to stay here tonight? I can keep watch. I'm about to turn him down, but then I think about it again. He couldn't hurt, and I trust him. Linus brushes against Arkin's leg, looking up at him for more pets. Arkin obliges. Linus trusts him too, it seems. I smile and point toward my spare room. I have a guest room. It's pretty spacious. My mom didn't cheap out on my living accommodations. I walk over to the door and open it, and Arkin follows. He looks inside, and I walk in before him to show off the room. There's a twin bed in the corner by a window, a dresser with a flat-screen TV on top, and a couch on the opposite wall with an end table on either side. I point these out to Arkin. There's a bed, and I have a TV in there. And the apartment has access to cable, so my mom set me up. Although I really should use it more often. The room itself is big enough that another 2 beds could probably fit comfortably inside with another dresser. Most of that seems to be lost on Arkin, who is excitedly watching Linus waltz around the room as if he owns it. Well, Fynn, if you're okay with it, I'll absolutely stay the night. I smile. Cool, I'll get you set up. I move to the closet just outside the door and rummage through it, taking out a vacuum-sealed bag containing 2 pillows and a nice, comfortable blanket. Returning to Arkin, I hand him the bundle. Here you go, Arkin. Arkin looks nervous, but also excited. Thanks. It'll be cool hanging out at someone else's house. I've never done this before. I'm stunned, and Arkin picks up on it immediately. You look surprised. Is that bad? Well, not necessarily, but sleeping over at a friend's house is like a core thing to do when you're a kid. You really never slept over at a friend's house before? Arkin's eyes drop to my feet and he rubs his neck. No, can't say I have. There weren't really any other kids my age in the village. It's sad now. Oof, sorry, Arkin. I didn't mean to bring up bad vibes. As if nothing had happened, Arkin is suddenly enthusiastic again. Well, don't worry about it. We could just make up for it now. I laugh again and give Arkin a thumbs up. Alright, sure. Why not? I'll make some popcorn. We can watch crappy movies or play video games or something until we fall asleep. Movies? Video games? What are those? Oh, right. Well, it'll be better if I show you. Arkin's eyes light up and I pull out the futon from the couch. I leave the room and throw some popcorn in the microwave and grab my game console and an extra controller. After setting up the console, Arkin and I watched some comedy movies on cable while eating popcorn, and then after a few hours I showed him how to play one of my favorite games. Surprisingly, he picks it up faster than I expected. It's a fighting game, and he finds a character that he thinks looks cool and ends up winning a few rounds. The rest of the night gets away from us, and eventually I find myself dozing off. Good night, Fynn. Good night, Arkin. You've unlocked bonus content in the extra content menu. Check it out in the main menu, okay? Ah, man, I guess we're done then. Thank you for reading this version of 1.9. 2 more days for the boys. You're all first, and then Bjorn. Also rewritten more. LC needs to be done. There's more bonus scene. Okay. Sorry it's taking so long. I was dealing with... Oh, God. Yeah, one of my parents' cats just died. Public release of this bill will be soon, so I hope they have them all through. Is that gonna go? Okay, Jesus. I hope you'll continue to enjoy Wayfinder. I will. I love the game. It's awesome. I want more Wayfinder, damn it. Lost and found. What is this? Wayfinder, lost and found. Oh! You decided the rain today made you feel nostalgic enough to go digging through your old attic. So here you are, digging through dusty boxes and sifting through cobwebs and real webs. Searching. Although, you aren't exactly too sure what you're searching for. Well, regardless, it seems you've managed to find it. This secret journal lost to you for years. A tome filled to the brim with the tales your friends told you over the years you spent together. Sometimes the stories were about you. Sometimes they had nothing to do with you, but were just as important to you all the same. Covered in a thick layer of dust, you try to brush the book's cover off with a sleeve, and failing that, blow the dust away like in those fantasy movies. You know how that usually goes. Ugh, ew, tastes like abandonment. The name you'd expect to see is on the front, one you haven't spoken in a long time. A name from your youth, of a life you've long since laid to rest. The life of a finder. You say the name aloud. Fynn, that takes me back. You sigh and turn the musty, leather-bound tome on its side and open the cover. So this is him in the future? You scan the jumbled contents of the first few pages. Most of it seems to be nonsense or notes or doodles. Finally, about 20 or so pages in, you find a makeshift table of contents. You decide this would be a great time to set a bookmark as if saving a game, just in case you need to return here later. Okay, say no more. Which chapter would you like to view? Oh, the rites? You decide to turn the chapter that's marked the rites. The name is a bit ominous, and when you get to the page number, there's a note left in the top left corner. I can't believe you wrote about this. Still, thanks for telling those bastards off for me, Fynn. You smile. You remember Geralf as a bit of a snarky, sarcastic guy. Something comforting overwhelms you as you begin to read. Chapter 1. The Rites. Ooh, so must be a big-ass side story. The chilly autumn air was starting to take its toll on the group of wolf giants. The 6 elders stood in front of a great mirror at the foot of a pond. Around them sat dozens of other wolf giants, huddled together between several torches for warmth, each one soaking wet from the passage between the pond. Fjol wasn't the oldest of them, but he certainly felt like it at the moment. Looking upon the visages of the 3 young wolf giants cast before them in the great mirror, Fjol felt it wouldn't be long before the people of the Iron Wood knew a new great chief. I see the 3 of you have found a finder in Midgard. Fjol spoke through his mind with magic to all present and listening through the looking glass. Each of the candidates was in a separate place, but magic worked in mysterious ways, and so they appeared to be standing right next to one another. From what Fjol understood, the looking glass magic showed the caster a vision of its target, while putting each target in a liminal space of sorts. It brings us great joy to know our goals are swiftly being met. A cackle broke out, and 3 young wolf giants looked worriedly towards its source. The oldest of the elders, Terald, lets out another hearty laugh. You boys have done well to find him so soon. It's only been a little over 2 days since we sent you all there. A testament to the lineage of the great wolf, to be sure. Fjol had forgotten all about that. Each one of them was a descendant of the wolf giant's progenitor. Ah, that's right. Arkin and Geralf are of Skull's line, and Bjorn is of Hades. Roy, the youngest of the elders, perked up at this. Oh, it's you 3. I'm so glad we decided to choose you all as candidates and sent you to find a finder from the mortal realm. The gray-furred wolf swayed in place happily. Next to him, the second youngest, Arrow, scoffed and sucked his teeth, speaking audibly without magic so only those in the vicinity could hear. You decided. I was, and still am, against this whole ordeal. We all know the only real way to guide our people is for us to do it ourselves. This elicits a laugh from the opposite side of the outfit of elders. It was Eldit who spoke with a condescending tone as if scolding a child. While I can agree that I prefer we fix our own problems, you know as well as I do that we can barely agree on the time of day, let alone half the problems our people face. Electing a great chief and having them guided by a council who hail from various tribes is the best course of action here. While Eros and Eldit were brothers born 2 years apart, they couldn't have been more different. Their posture and attitudes in this moment proved that. Eros scowled at his older brother. Still, we do not need some human from the mortal realm deciding who that leader should be. Eldit shrugged, shaking his head. You expect us to elect a leader without bias. Even now there are those conspiring within our very own village to take the seat. This quiets the uppity wolf giant who flicks his tongue in annoyance. The 3 young wolf giants looked among themselves in confusion, wondering what the hang-up was, no doubt. Could we please keep track of things? We have guests with us, and these rites will not start themselves. The smallest of the elders finally spoke up. His cool voice always sent shivers down Fjol's neck. Were I but a decade or 2 younger, I might have had the chance to be yours, my sleek friend. Alas. Fjol shook off the thoughts. This wasn't the time for longing or heartache. So this is a different finder, okay. Clotilde was right. They needed to focus. The wolves who had passed through the pond through the mortal realm were desperately trying to warm up. They had been informed of their disqualification before the rites and had made their way to the place of entry back in Jotunheim. Although a number of wolf giants still remained in Midgard after the rites and what came after, they would be allowed to use magic to come through in their sleep. Right you are, my friend. Clotilde smiled, looking Fjol in the eyes. By the great wolf, those eyes! No! Focus! Deciding to get back on track, the elders called each of the wolf candidates in turn. Arkin of the Vessel tribe, do you claim your right to candidacy for the role of great chief? The green-eyed wolf giant stepped forward and spoke with conviction. He used his voice, as all present could hear each of the 3 candidates. Yes. Bjorn of the Bear tribe, do you claim your right to candidacy for the role of great chief? The amber-eyed wolf giant stepped forward and spoke with an air of determination, even if a bit timid. Yes. Geralf of the Spear tribe. Geralf of the Spear tribe, do you claim your right to candidacy for the role of great chief? The silvery wolf giant stepped forward and spoke with a steely gaze and a voice filled with resolve. Yes. The 3 young wolf giants stood at attention, awaiting the next part of the rites. After about half an hour of boring back and forth, all the elders seemed to be supplicated enough with the responses of the candidates. However, there was another matter to bring up. Geralf, you've had a little incident involving some humans, haven't you? You allowed yourself to harm a human and his friends, it seems. Do you have anything to say for this? Elder Royd, What's that? Were you saying something? Speak up! I apologize, elders. The Finder was in trouble, and I just meant to... Thought to what, exactly? What would need to be done had you injured or even killed that poor human? Did you not stop to think about how his family would feel, knowing their hopes and wishes for their family's future died with him? Uncle Eros, please, You will address me as an elder and show humility and respect for us, boy. The older voice. The stress and panic on Geralf's face was horrifying to his peers. Bjorn reached out behind Geralf, resting a hand on the other wolf's shoulder to console him. Geralf didn't seem to notice, even after Arkin reached out in kind. Well, have you nothing to say for yourself? Calm down, Eros. What? Geralf hasn't even finished his sentence yet. You're already scolding him. He's also already apologized. I'm going to pause it right there, y'all. We've got more Wayfinder content to get through. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Teresm Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.